Welcome to the Existential Empath Podcast. My name is Tanya and I am an intuitive empath. My intention is to share valuable tips, tools, and techniques that I have learned so you can tap into your own inner healer naturally and intuitively. I wanted to kind of jump on here today and just talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. I have a lot of clients who have been really struggling with the chaos and the craziness, and it's bringing up a lot of negative emotions for them. And it seems like a lot of people are going through what's called a purging process. Just a lot of things that are coming to the surface to be cleared. And the way that I've kind of been explaining it to my clients is that right now the earth is going through a shedding process. It's kind of like if you were to envision a snake or a hermit crab, where they actually start to shed those outer layers so that they can come out and they metamorphosize into a newer version of themselves, kind of similarly to a butterfly. And that's where we are right now. The earth is going through this shedding process, and we're going through it with her. So it's sort of similar to like fleas on a dog. And I'm not saying that we're fleas, I'm just using that as an analogy. But when the dog starts to move or, gets a bath, or these things start to happen, then it shakes up the fleas too. And it shakes, when anything happens with the earth, it shakes us up too, because we're all connected to her energy. So as we're healing, the earth is healing. And as the earth is healing, we're healing too. So I've noticed that this has been kind of a common theme amongst a lot of my clients, is just this bubbling of old emotions, old timelines. And I've talked about timelines before, and how timelines are these paths that we're on. And when you're on a certain path and you've exhausted that path, then you may pick up and move to a new area, get a new job, end a relationship, end a marriage. When you make that shift, you're shifting into a new timeline, into a new path. And that's exactly what Earth is doing right now. She's been on this old timeline, this old path, and she's beginning to shift into a new one. And it's rattling all of us, right? So we're all coming along this journey with her, and it's all being brought up to the surface. So all of our fears, our doubts, our shames, our guilts, all those lower vibrational emotions are beginning to bubble to the surface for us to be clearing energetically and physically. We are getting those symptoms those emotions are getting trapped in our body. So, when we focus on certain things in our life, we draw energy to that. Energy flows where attention goes. So if we are constantly focusing on the bad and the negativity that's going on in the world, then we are putting energy towards that. So kind of envision it like a teeter-totter, okay? So when you have weight that goes one direction, it gets really off balance. But when you balance that out, it's much more harmonious, okay? So when we have all of this chaos and destruction and fear and, just crazy weather transitions going on in the world, we all kind of have a tendency as a collective to want to veer towards the negative aspects, the problems, right? So it's almost like we are putting as much energy as the size of a sumo wrestler on one side of the teeter-totter, and then the other side we have like the energy the size of, say, an ant or something. So energy flows where attention goes. So if we can begin to shift our focus and our energy from the chaos, the corruption, the fear, the destruction, to more balance, harmony, peace, love, happiness, joy, then naturally, when we all do this together, it's not going to just take one of us, but it starts with one of us. It will begin to shift that energy, shift that teeter-totter, right? So when we focus on the solution instead of the problem, it provides that balance. So when, we have all of these forest fires going on, when we're focusing on the fire itself, that's the problem. But what's the solution to the fire? Water, right? Rain. Focus on the rain. Focus on bringing, more moisture into the air that can help balance that out. When we focus on the corruption and the deceit and the betrayal as to what's going on in our, our government structure, what's the opposite of that? Balance, harmony, peace. Focus on that. Don't get pulled into that energy. If you're in a work environment and everybody is, chatting about all of this lower vibe, negative energy, don't be susceptible to that. I always tell my clients that our energetic system is this, this beautiful aura around us. If you have a Swiss cheese aura, then what happens is that things start to burrow into those holes, right? And if you are allowing that energy to come in, then it's going to slowly begin to take over your entire, physical body, emotional body, mental body, and spiritual body. So I always say cheddar is better, right? Sharp cheddar. Envision your aura strong and not allowing that energy in, but it takes you consciously to make a decision to say, hey, I'm not going to involve myself in that conversation. I'm not going to, put my energy towards that, because all that's going to do is just lower my own vibe and make me feel worse. So be a light, be a lighthouse, be an example to other people. If they start to go down that negative rabbit hole, then you don't have to go down there with them, Alice in Wonderland. You don't have to follow them. You can actually make a conscious decision to step back and say, hey, that's just not for me. I don't resonate with that. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. This is definitely something, like I said, that I'm seeing a theme amongst my clients. When they're calling, they've got a lot of negative emotions that are bubbling to the surface. And we're all going through this massive purging, this massive detoxing. We have, and many of us are going through that Herxheimer reaction, right? So when you go through a physical detox, you can have certain symptoms that come up, like flu-like symptoms, headaches, aches and pains. We're going through that. The earth is going through that, and we're going through that with her. So as we move through this process, just be gentle with yourself. Step up the self-care, guys. If you're not doing enough self-care, then that's an area, focus more on that. One of the things that I enjoy doing is doing one new self-care technique per month. So I've, started out with massage, and then Zen float tanks, and then, doing acupuncture and certain things that help my body heal, and it helps me relax. So I'm not so focused on what's going on in mainstream media, what's going on, all around me, but I'm focusing on myself. I'm going inside and focusing on me. So it's not selfish to do that, guys. You've got to do that and be an example for other people, because not everybody else is doing that either. So if you start taking care of yourself, you're going to start looking better. You're going to start feeling better. And then other people are going to be like, hey, what are you doing? You're looking fantastic. I want to jump on that train, right? So put that old, limited belief paradigm behind you and start doing something different. Pave your own path. Bust out your machete. If you're in the middle of a forest and you're on a path and that path stops, bust out your machete, guys. Build your own path. You can do that. It's safe to do that. And honestly, it's quite exciting as well. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like my page, then go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell button. I'd love to connect with you more, share your thoughts on this video, and just spread more light, spread more happiness, smile more, guys. Get out there. Stop focusing on the fear and focus on the joy. You deserve to navigate your life in alignment with health, happiness, and abundance. To learn more about the services that I provide, including Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, EFT tapping, and the Emotion Code, visit my website at www.theexistentialempath.com.